Good morning, Slay to Youth families. Hope that you are having a wonderful day. Thank you for joining us for worship, and hope you had a great Thanksgiving. So, I saw this post on Instagram the other day that I got lots of good laughs out of. That was one of those string of memes about what if 2020 was blank. So what if 2020 was a slide and it would have a cheese grater at the end? Or what if 2020 was a bag of chips? It would be orange juice and toothpaste flavored. And man, has it felt that way or what? Like, seriously. We tend to mark off our years, by the calendar. That's what we do as people. And there's never been a calendar year that's felt more than this one. And Isaiah sort of captures some of that feeling in today's passage, where the people of Israel were hoping for this Messiah to come. They were hoping for God to come down from the mountain, to break into their lives, to change things for the better. And I think a lot of times we're wishing just for 2021 to get here, right? Like the world's going to magically change on January the 1st. It's not. It's going to be the same world it's always been. And we don't look to God. We don't think about how God is with us. And really what Christmas and Advent is all about is that Christ coming to dwell with us, to be with us. And while we look forward to his second coming and making all things new in the fullest of ways, we know that he's with us now. And that hope that God's Spirit gives us, that God's presence gives us, is something that we should really cultivate during this time of Advent and examine ourselves of how we're ready and prepared for that second coming. But how are we also preparing and helping make the world new now? How are we leaning into that hope and not having it be some passive thing where we just sit around and hope that something good happens, like we hope when January 1st comes around, everything changes, but an active hope where we're really out there helping God change the world. And I think that's really important to think about this time of Advent. And how can we lean into that? How can we make space for that? How can we look at our lives and seek those places of hope? How can we learn to see through that hope and do it in an active way? And Isaiah talks about this some in this passage, about just that waiting, that anticipation. And there toward the end, it talks about we're the clay, God's the potter, God's making us into something new. And I think that's something super important for us to think about as anybody, as Christians, to think about how God is making us into that something new. God's already making the changes, and that should give us hope for the future. Thanks for watching this morning. Hope that you have a great rest of the week, and we will see you all soon.